हुई है। यह अत्यंत प्रसिद्ध स्तुति है और सहस्त्राब्दियों से भक्तगण प्रेम और भक्ति से इसे गाते रहे हैं। सघन कर्मों का क्षय करने वाले मंत्र का नित्य प्रतिदिन श्रद्धापूर्वक सुमिरन करें। उवसगहरं पासं वन्दामिकं घनमुखं विसहरविसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याणावासम् विसहरफुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोषयामणु तस्य गहरोगमारी दुःखजराजन्ति चिट्ठौ दूरे मन्तो तुझ्यपणामो विबहुफलो नरतिर्ये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायवभये पावन्ति अविघ्नेनं जीवाय रामरं ठाणम् यसन्थुओ महायस भक्तिभरने भरेण हियेण तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द। एवं विपत्तियों और बाधाओं में शक्ति देने वाले इस मंत्र का नित्य प्रतिदिन श्रद्धापूर्वक सुमिरन करें। उवसगहरं पासं वन्दामिकं घनमुखं विसहरविसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याणावासम् विसहरफुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोषयामणु तस्य गहरोगमारी दुःखजराजन्ति चिट्ठौ दूरे मन्तो तुझ्यपणामो विबहुफलो नरतिर्ये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायवभये पावन्ति अविघ्नेनं जीवाय रामरं तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द। श्रद्धापूर्वक सुमिरन करें। उवसगहरं पासं पासं वन्दामि कमघनमुखं विसहर विसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याण आवासं विसहर फुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोसयामणुओ तस्य गहरोगमारी दुःखजराजन्ति उवसामि चिट्ठौ दूरे मन्तो तुझ्झपणामो विबहुफलो होयि नरतिर्ये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायव भये पावन्ति अविघ्नेणं जीवाय रामरं ठाणम् यसन्थुओ महायस भक्ति भरने भरेण हियेण तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द तादेवदिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिनचन्द। एवं उवसगहरं पासं पासं वन्दामि कमघनमुखं विसहर विसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याण आवासं विसहर फुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोसयामणुओ तस्य गहरोगमारी दुःखजराजन्ति उवसामि चिट्ठौ दूरे मन्तो तुझ्झपणामो विबहुफलो होयि नरतिर्ये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायव भये पावन्ति अविघ्नेणं जीवाय रामरं ठाणम् यसन्थुओ महायस भक्ति भरने भरेण हियेण चंद तादेव दिज्जवोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चंद तादेव दिज्जवोहिं भवे भवे पास.
Cannot hear you.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, apologies. So again, JJ Nendra, and welcome everyone to Viraitan SCVP Jain School, to the adult class event this evening. And today we are going to continue with the Uvassagaram Stotra, and Rajeevbhai will be leading us through that. For those of you who missed part 1, which was 2 weeks ago, it is available on the SCVP YouTube site, so you can catch up and watch session 1 there. And this one will be recorded and you'll be able to follow up and watch session 2 as well. My name is Shailene. I'm one of the teachers at the school. Been part of the school for teaching for about 8 years now. And what I'd like to do is firstly for all of us to start with the Noka Mantra. And in a moment, I will introduce our young student who will lead us through the Noka Mantra. But throughout the session, if you could just keep yourself on mute, that will be most helpful. And if you have any questions, you can put them on the chat and we can read them out or ask you to read those out. And so if everyone is able to stay on mute, but you can recite the Noka Mantra at home as we ask one of our young students, Aryan Sangvi, age 10, from Madhyama class, to recite the Noka Mantra and kick off our evening's session today. Aryan, are you ready to share?
Yep. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Namo, Namo Sittanam, Namo Namo, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Namo, Namo Uvajayanam, Namo Namo, Namo Lo Esavasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Sava Pavapanasano Mangalalancha Savesim Padamam Have Mangalam Padamam Have Mangalam.
Wonderful, Aryan. Thank you so much. Could I just ask everyone to just come off mute and give an encouraging round of applause for Aryan for reciting the Noka Mantra. Wonderful, thank you. Aryan, how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
Fantastic. So you're 10 years old, and SCVP Jain School has been running for more than twice your age. So it's been running for more than 20 years. The school was established by Sadhviji Shilapiji when she was here, with the grace and guidance and blessings of Acharya Channaji, and hence named Sri Channa Vidyapith.
Thanks.
The school is based on 3 core principles. They are Shiksha, studying, Sadhana, practice and spiritual effort, and Seva, service and volunteering. So those are the 3 principles that or the pillars the school is based on, and we practice these throughout the school's activities. So today we will have some Shiksha, so some learning. And I'd like to share a little bit about the 3rd one, Seva, so volunteering and service. So from my time at the school, I've had the opportunity to take part in various service activities, various volunteering activities. These are tree planting at various places, visits to the care home to help cheer up and say hello to the people who are in the care homes, volunteer program where we went to India on the Viraitan volunteer program over the summer for 2 weeks, and took part in the various Viraitan schools in teaching and bonding with the students there and taking students from here. And also currently, SCVP Viraitan UK is supporting, during this COVID pandemic, distributing meals to those who need it. So a core team from here are helping to volunteer to provide that service. So volunteering and Seva, the 3 S's, a core part of the school there. And another part of Seva is many of our teachers are volunteers, and that's an act of Seva. And so our teacher today is Rajeevbhai. He's been part of the school for many years, and he's been teaching on a volunteer basis the adult class for 12 years. So Aryan, it's longer than you've been around that Rajeevbhai has been teaching the adult class. So something you can aspire to as you get older, to come back and help teach the adult class. Rajeev has a master's degree in Jainology and comparative religions. By day, he works in investment banking, but passionately he shares about Jain Dharma, bringing in modern ideas and concepts to really help enliven and help us understand the Dharma. And today, as I've shared, he's going to help continue our journey in understanding the Uvassagaram Stotra. So if I could hand over to Rajeev.
Thank you very much, Shailene, for the kind introduction. Jai Jinendra, everyone. So welcome to the part 2 of Uvassagaram Stotra. It's been 2 weeks since we looked at part 1. So I'll just do a very brief recap of what we discussed in the previous session. To understand Uvassagaram Stotra, we understood that Acharya Bhadrabhahu is believed to have composed the Stotra. And we looked at the story whereby there were 2 brothers, Varamir and Acharya Bhadrabhahu, and they both became Jain monks. And that's where the path sort of separated. Acharya Bhadrabhahu was very diligent, spent a lot of time doing meditation and reading the scriptures, whereas Varamir essentially, again, was a Jain monk, but then spent a lot of time doing the sadhana for self-gratification. So with the powers which he sort of obtained, he started doing astrology, giving people predictions, and his name and fame grew because of that. Eventually, we found that there was a great, at the time of being appointing as a successor Acharya, Acharya Bhadrabhahu's guru, Acharya Yashobhadra, appointed Bhadrabhahu as the successor, and Varamir got very upset. He says, both of us became sadhus at the same time. Why is it that the Acharya has taken preference towards Acharya Bhadrabhahu and not me? And that sort of became a very resentful within him. And he then actually left the ascetic order and started having great animosity towards the Jain religion. To such an extent that after his death, he became a Vyantardev and started inflicting lots of atrocities towards the Jain Sangh, the monks, the nuns, and it is believed that he even created a plague and afflicting only the Jain community. That's the time when the Sangh approached Acharya Bhadrabhahu and saying that, look, we are all under a lot of torment, and can you please help us? And Acharya Bhadrabhahu, through his own spiritual powers, knew that it's his brother who has now become a Dev and creating all these calamities. At that time, he recited the Uvassagaram Stotra and sprinkled water to all the people who were afflicted, and it's believed that that really pacified the situation. After that introduction to Acharya Bhadrabhahu, we also looked at Parshvanath Bhagwan, because this Stotra, Uvassagaram Stotra, is dedicated to Lord Parshvanath. So it was appropriate to understand who is Lord Parshvanath. And we looked at some of his lives, and we looked at, it started with Marubhuti and Kamath. Again, they were 2 brothers. And whilst Marubhuti was a very devout person, spending a lot of time in religious activities, Kamath was again became the chief priest in the king's courtyard. And at that time, he indulged in WWW. Not there was internet at that time, but wine, women, and wealth, and to such an extent that he also started committing adultery. So having a relationship with his own brother's wife. Eventually, when Marubhuti found out, he found it very difficult to believe that my own brother is engaging in such evil activities. He then had no other option but to tell the king at that time that, look, my brother is really doing such evil activities. And once when the king found out, he banished Kamath. And that's the beginning of the hatred between Kamath and Marubhuti. Marubhuti, as you will see, later becomes Parshvanath's soul. And through all the different lives, second life, third life, you can see on the left-hand side, Marubhuti's soul became an elephant, went into Devlok, became a monk, then into Devlok, whereas Kamath started having, became a snake, went to hell, and that just kept on going. And we finished the last session towards the seventh birth. So now let's look at which is the seventh birth of Parshvanath Bhagwan. So in the seventh birth, Lord Parshvanath actually became a prince, and he was called Suvarna. And at that time, he then wanted to get married to Padma. And it's quite interesting story of Padma. She was actually a princess, but at the time of her birth, her father died. And so what happened was that when the new king came, they were actually banished out of the kingdom. And such is the fate, rags to riches. Her mom and Padma then had to go to a hermitage and live a very modest life. And at the time of the marriage of Padma with Suvarna, her mom said, look, daughter, I really don't have all the riches, diamonds, and all the gold to give it to you, but I will actually give you seven gems, and I'll bless you with this. And look at the 7 gems, and it's quite amazing to see that she says, always speak sweet language. Feed your husband before taking your meals. Consider your co-wives to be your sisters and not rivals. That was a time whereby the kings used to have many wives. Pay due respect to your parents-in-law. Never be conceited about being the chief queen of a Chakravarti, because as you will see, Suvarna would actually become a Chakravarti, and a Chakravarti is someone who becomes a sovereign emperor. So they became all the different continents. They become the kings of this vast piece of land. Love your stepchildren like your own, and follow the religious and family discipline. Can you imagine what beautiful blessings Padma's mother gave to her? And as was quite common during that time period, after sort of leaving his kingdom, becoming a Chakravarti, Suvarna decided to become a Jain monk. And at that time, it is believed that he followed the Vistanak activities. So these are 20 different activities, very pious activities, which actually led him to bind the Tirthankar Nam Karma. So it is in this birth that Parshvanath Bhagwan actually bound the karma, which meant that in the future he'll become a Tirthankar. And as he was a monk and he was in deep, gross meditation, a lion came and attacked the monk. And that lion was none other than the soul of Kamath. So as you can see, that the hatred is really permeating through all the different lives, second life, third life, even in this stage. And the monk then died a peaceful death with full of forgiveness towards the lion and became born in the heaven. So so now let's look at his 8th birth. So the 8th birth was in heaven, and it is believed that as a Dev, he had a lifespan of 20 sagar. Now, what does that 20 sagar mean? Let's look at very briefly, what is the Jain concept of time? We all see that it's 60 minutes is 1 hour, 12 hours is 1 day. And now let's look at where we go. 8.4 million years becomes 1 Purvang. And then 8.4 million Purvang becomes 1 Purva. And then, as you can see, innumerable Purvas becomes 1 Palyopam. And what is 1 Sagaropam? 10 to the power of 15 Palyopam. Suffice to say that these are very large numbers. Such a large number that it's almost like innumerable. We cannot even count them. And it is believed that in this lifespan, he actually did the Kalyanaks of 100 Tirthankars. So we know that each Tirthankar has got 5 Kalyanak. So anyone on the chat program knows what are the 5 Kalyanaks which we all celebrate for our Tirthankars? So anyone sing which are the Kalyanaks?
5 are Chavan, which is conceiving,
Yes.
Then birth,
Yep.
then Diksha,
Yes.
then Kevagnan,
Kevalan, and finally.
and finally is Moksha.
That's right. Thank you very much. I think I recognize your voice, Bharatbhai. Thank you very much for that. So as you can see, so he then celebrated 500 Kalyanaks. And how did he celebrate 100 Tirthankars? There were 50 Tirthankars in the Bharat Kshetra and 50 in Airavat. What is Airavat? Let's briefly look at the Jain cosmology. The center part is what we believe is where we are, the middle universe, part of the universe. And Jain cosmology believes that Bharat Kshetra is in the south side. So we are in the Bharat Kshetra. The triangle here is Mount Meru, and Jains believe that the center of the universe. And also the Buddhists also believe on Mount Meru. And on the northern side, if you go on, there are different mountains, and right at the top is Airavat Kshetra. And Jains actually believe that the Bharat Kshetra and the Airavat Kshetra are actually complementary to such an extent. As you can see, in the middle is Mahavidya Kshetra. So this is where Shimandar Swami is, which we believe there are 23 Tirthankars right now. But Airavat has got, it follows the same cycle as the Jain, our Bharat Kshetra. So what we are right now in the 5th time cycle, and Airavat is also got the 5th time cycle. So, and it's going to follow the same. So when you go to the 6th, the Airavat will also go to the 6th time cycle. And we believe that it's almost an identical. So the humans, just like us over here in the Airavat Kshetra. So, and they also have got Tirthankars. And it is therefore believed that because Parshvanath's soul had such a long lifespan, and because he celebrated 500 Kalyanaks of these 100 Tirthankars, he bound an immense meritorious karma. And as we will later see, it is for that reason, it is believed that even today, that the Parshvanath Jebadi Murti, lots of the temples, Jain Derasas, have got Parshvanath Murti. It's one of the most popular murtis in almost all the temples. We have the Jain temples right now. And it's believed because he bound such meritorious karma, it's just permeating Parshvanath Bhagwan. Quite interestingly, I described that we have the Bharat Kshetra and we got the Airavat. If you just go into the BBC and type, is our universe one or many? There's an article which comes on the 21st of March, 2016, which says that, do you think there are more than one universes? And it says that there are some scientists who believe there are worlds within worlds. And in at least some of these alternative universes, it has been suggested we have got doppelgangers. What does doppelgangers mean? What does it sound like? Double. આપણે હિન્દી મૂવીમાં કહીને તો કે આ ડબલ રોલ પ્લે કરે છે. So essentially what these doppelgangers means that there are universes out there which are almost identical to us. So can you imagine what a kind of amazing coincidence to see that the scientists also suggesting what is kind of written in the Jain scriptures, that there are universes, a parallel universe similar to what we have over here, the Earth, and Jains have described that as Airavat, and even the modern scientists suggest the same. Now let's look at the final life of Lord Parshvanath. This is the 9th life. As we know, he's going to be born as a Tirthankar in this 9th life. And as all Tirthankars are born, the mothers get dreams. And the Bhagwan Parshvanath's mother had the dream. And Bhagwan Parshvanath is born. He's been taken to Mount Meru. And then what's actually suggested, the queen said, that, once during my pregnancy, I actually dreamt that a black snake came near me. And after touching my toes, it went away. And pas means near. And that's the reason why the mother said, okay, why don't I call Parshvanath Bhagwan? So that's where the name of Parshvanath Bhagwan comes in, near. Okay, a snake came very close to the mothers in her dream, and the snake went away. So Parshva means near, and that's where Lord Parshvanath Bhagwan gets his name. Obviously, Bhagwan Parshvanath, he had obviously a lot of desires to become an ascetic, but just like Bhagwan Mahavir, his parents said, Parshvanath Bhagwan, we would really be very, very happy if you got married. So Parshvanath Bhagwan agreed. He got married to Prabhavati. And there is actually a story about this marriage. Prabhavati was actually the daughter of King Prasenjit. And at that time, there were a lot of proposals coming to Prabhavati because she's a very beautiful princess. But Prasenjit, who was Prabhavati's father, said, nope, I only want to get my daughter married to Parshvanath Bhagwan. And why, he's a pearl amongst all the princes. So what then happened was that some of the other princes got offended. How dare Prabhavati's father rebuke us that we are not worthy of marrying his daughter? let's wage a war. So they started waging a war. And when Parshvanath Bhagwan's King Ashwashan heard about it, he said, this is wrong. He says, I don't believe in justice. So we should go and help King Prasenjit. So he says, let's get ready for war. Parshvanath Bhagwan tells his father, Dad, it's not appropriate for you to go to war. I'm a very strong, able prince. Why? Let me go to the war instead. His dad says, no, it's very dangerous and I don't want to risk your life. But Parshvanath Bhagwan insists, Dad, look, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to win this war without shedding a drop of blood. Believe me. His dad agreed. And so Parshvanath Bhagwan goes to war. And during that time, he got the assistance of a lot of the devs and devis. And he had a mighty army. So when the opposing king who was waging the war found out, oh, Parshvanath's army is huge, I'm no match to it, the other king literally surrendered and actually asked for forgiveness, that I'm very sorry that I decided to wage a war. And essentially, Parshvanath Bhagwan won the averted a war and got married to Prabhavati. Now, during the same time here, Kamath soul, we remember that Kamath was having this, he was the enemy of Parshvanath Bhagwan through so many lives. So Kamath was born and into a very poor Brahmin's family. And soon after his birth, both his parents died. And so what he then suggested is he went to a Hindu Muni and saying, Muni, what is it that there are some people who have a lot of riches and I'm actually born as a poor Brahmin? What can I do? And then the Brahmin said, do some austerities. So that's the time he then started becoming a Hindu monk and doing some severe penances, tap karamenda. So once what happened was Parshvanath Bhagwan was going around and he saw lots of people going out in the city. And he asked his other people, where are all these people going? And he said, have you heard? There's a very a Kamath. He's a Brahmin. He's doing some great tap. Panch Agni nu tap kareche. There's 5 main fires. So Parshvanath Bhagwan went there, and when he went there, he actually saw ke amuk woodsma, the snakes are burning. So he told the hermit, oh hermit, I know you're doing some spiritual penances, but please, there's actually some snakes burning in here. He says, do not disturb my Maha Sadhana. Please go away. Parshvanath Bhagwan could not tolerate this. He got off his horse and immediately took out a wood, tore it open, and there were 2 snakes, half burned, slithering in pain, and recited the Nokar mantra, and they passed and they died. People were shocked. They said, oh yeah, this is true. Parshvanath Bhagwan could foresee that there were snakes in this. And immediately all the people who had gathered around that started rebuking the hermit. Oh, what a kind of shameful person you are. And his kind of ego got shattered. And the 2 snakes, as we know, became Dharnendra and Padmavati. And at that time, again, Kamath started having intense hatred towards Parshvanath Bhagwan. So Parshvanath Bhagwan at this time takes Diksha. And then the Kamath, when he died, he became a Dev, but not a good Dev. And the Dev was called Meghmali. And at that time, he started, and as a Dev, he could make different forms. So in that, he made the forms of lions and started attacking Parshvanath Bhagwan. But Parshvanath Bhagwan was in intense meditation. And he saw that this is not having any effect on Parshvanath Bhagwan. So then the Meghmali created torrential rain, ice cold water pouring on it, coming right up to its neck and going further. And at that time, Dharnendra and Padmavati, who were the 2 snakes, their thrones shook in heavens. He's saying, look, our Parshvanath Bhagwan is actually under so much torment. And they came and saying, okay, and they created a hood over Parshvanath Bhagwan. And that time, Kamath then decided nothing is going to affect Parshvanath Bhagwan. And then he stopped his atrocities and he then actually asked for forgiveness. It's kind of amazing. Apna Sakarat Sutrama, Acharya Hemchandra composed this. Sutra veche, Kamte Dharnendrecha, Sochitam Karma Kurvati, Prabhustulyo Manavratti, Parshvanath Sriyestuvaha. What a beautiful stuti. Ke Parshvanath Bhagwan kevitna ache. And it's said ke Parshvanath Bhagwan Prabhustulyo Manavrati. The Tulya, what is Tulya? I actually was recently went to Sankheshwar in February, and Tulya, as you know, is like a scale. Apni old and juna jamani scale che. And that scale is a balance. Correct. So Parshvanath Bhagwan kevi ritna છે કે Dharendra was giving him lots of torment, but Parshvanath Bhagwan did not have any hatred towards him. And on the other hand, Dharendra and Padmavati came, and at that time he did not have, they are such my benefactors. So his mind was totally equanimous. He did not, and so that's why it's called Prabhustulya Monovriti. Mind kevu છે? Totally balanced. And eventually Parshvanath Bhagwan, in this birth, he actually then went into heaven from Samet Shikhar. And incidentally, there was a very interesting trip which we went through SCVP school in 2011. And this is at actually Samet Shikhar. And, you know, I would really strongly suggest that if there's an opportunity for SCVP to organize the trip, it would be one of the most blissful experiences you can ever have. Now, let's look at one thing. It is believed that Parshvanath Bhagwan traveled extensively. Right at that time, there were no barriers. Okay, this is Pakistan or this is Afghanistan. It was probably one landmass. And it is believed that Parshvanath Bhagwan did travel extensively. So whether it was Parshvanath Bhagwan who actually went towards kind of, the Europe, or whether it's his disciples, because we do know for a fact that Parshvanath Bhagwan like disciples, Kesi Muni, and Kesi Muni and Gautam Swami actually had a dialogue to one another. So at that time, we do believe that Parshvanath Bhagwan's Ganadhar was present, and at that time. And if you look at Pythagoras, and as many mathematicians will know, there's a very famous principle of Pythagoras. It's known as Pythagoras' theorem. And it is believed that Pythagoras lived around sort of 600 years before the birth of Christ. He traveled to southern Italy, and he lived a communal ascetic lifestyle, entailed a lot of dietary prohibitions, and his stated included vegetarianism. Can you believe that generally we believe that Western philosophy did not believe in the concept of soul, and also generally believe that they did not have vegetarianism. But here look at Pythagoras, that he believed in the transmigration of souls. Every soul is immortal, and upon death enters into a new body. After death, we will be entering into a new body. And it is believed. So what a coincidence. It could be a possibility that, he came into contact with some of the Jain monks, and sort of really adhered, liked the philosophy and followed it. It's so long back in time that one cannot say it convincingly, but there is a very good possibility. So why is it that there are so many temples of Lord Parshvanath? For 9 lives, he upheld Shama over Krodh. He gave up his pran, as we've seen. If you look at all these different lives of Bhagwan Parshvanath Bhagwan, he gave up his life for Shama over Krodh. He's also known as Purush Dani Parshvanath. He's a center of attraction, and he's got Adai Nam Karma. People just like him. Parshvanath Bhagwan ti apne bole, apne game lakhe. So now let's go to Uvassagaram Stotra. Uvassagaram Stotra is a form of bhakti. What are the different kinds of bhakti one can do? Darshan, Pujan, Stavan, Kirtan, Namsmaran, and Dhyan. And all the forms of bhakti require alamban. What's alamban? Alamban. It's a support, like a pillar. Apne darshan ke puja karvi hoy, so we have the support of murti. Stavan ke kirtan karvu hoy to we take the support of stotra, stuti, or stavan. What's the difference? Stuti ekle su hoy. What is stuti? Stuti is kind of a prayer of 4 lines. Apna ke na veche khamimi sabba jive sabe jiva khamantu me mitti me so bhuesu veram majjamna kenai. So 4 lines stuti. Bija ma ke na veche कि आपने कह रखी थी सर्व मंगल मांगल्यम सर्व कल्याणम कारणम प्रधानम सर्वधर्माणम जैनम जेति शासनम और आदर बीजी कहता शिवमस्तु सर्व जगत परहित निरता भवन्तु भूतगणा दोषा प्रयन्तु नासम सर्वत सुखी भवन्तु लोका. So these are kind of couplets of 4 lines, and which are stuti. Slightly longer will be called a stotra. It's a Sanskrit word, and a similar word in Gujarati is called stavan. And so Uvassagaram Stotra is a form of a stavan or a kirtan. And it's also a namsmaran. Namsmaran ekle su કે આપણે ભગવાનનું નામ લઈએ છે. It's a form of bhakti. Om Rim Shrim Parshvanath Bhagwan Namaha. Om Rim Shrim Mahavishwami Bhagwan Namaha. So we are using some mantras, and we are reciting the name of our Tirthankars. And the other form of bhakti is arupi state of Paramatma. What is the quality of the Paramatma? આપણા પરમાત્માને શું બધી qualities છે? So Uvassagaram Stotra, as we see, is a form of bhakti. Now, there are 4 P's of marketing: product, promotion, price, and place. So that begs the question, what are the 4 P's of Uvassagaram Stotra? The first one is Parshvanath Bhagwan, because this stuti is dedicated to Parshvanath Bhagwan. The next one is Parshva Yaksh. What is a Yaksh? As we know, if you go to Derasar, every Tirthankar has got an attendant deity. કે દેવ દેવીઓ હોય એના સાઈડમાં હોય છે, કે who look after the welfare of the Tirthankars. So Parshva Yaksh is a attendant deity of Parshvanath Bhagwan. Padmavati Mata, we know that one of the snakes, and Bhagwan, Parshvanath Bhagwan recited the Nokar mantra, then that snake became Padmavati Mata and Dhranendra Dev. And finally, the prayer is about positivity and purity. So Uvassagaram Stotra, within the Jains philosophy, there are 9 sacred recitations. And number 1 is Navkar mantra. The second one is Uvassagaram Stotra, Ajit Shanti, Santikaram, Bhaktamar, Tijaya Paut, Stotra, Kalyan Mandri, Namyuna, and Bhraj Shanti or Moti Shanti. So Uvassagaram Stotra has got a very prominent place amongst all the Jain prayers. In fact, Dr. Vinodbhai Kapasi did his PhD on the Navsmaran and has written a great book on explaining the Navsmaran in great detail. In fact, I've got a book here, as you can see, that he's written a book in Gujarati and in English. So as we see, that Uvassagaram Stotra holds a very prominent place amongst all the Jain prayers. Now, it's a very popular prayers for the Jains, and it's supposed to remove, or it's believed to remove negative karmic particles, which are obstacles for success, health, longevity, and peace. Now, there's a debate on the authorship, as many Acharya Bhadrabhavas in the past. I do recollect, in fact, Bharatbhai himself asked the question last week, that how many Bhadrabhavas were there? We know that there's one Bhadrabhavu who was born 94 years after Lord Mahavir and died 170 years after Lord Mahavir. Now, let's look at this way. Even if you look at the English history, there was Edward I of England, 1239 to 1307. Within the same lifespan of Edward I, there was another Edward, Edward II, sort of 1284 to 1327. So imagine if history was written, and if someone did not specify which Edward, it would be difficult to know that which Edward this event happened in the reign of which Edward. And then what historians and scholars have to do is to look at what are they talking about. They look at what descriptions are there, and does it fit with the time period. Now, when I was doing my research, there was actually a paper on Varamir and Bhadrabhavu by Dr. Ajay Mitra Shastri, and he says that there are actually different Bhadrabhavus. We believe that there's one Bhadrabhavu who was born around this time period, but there's a second Bhadrabhavu is spoken as having flourished about 500 years after the death of Mahavir. So not about around 100 years, but 500 years. And there's yet another Bhadrabhavu III. He was lived in the 6th century AD. So again, it's difficult to pinpoint, but most commonly scholars believe that it is the first Bhadrabhavu who was born about 100 years after Lord Mahavir. He's the one who composed this stotra. Now, another question is that Jain monks and nuns are supposed to are not supposed to use the mantras. So why is it that Bhadrabhavu composed this mantra, this stotra? And the reason it's believed is that Jain Sangche, it's believed that it's the 25th Tirthankar. And therefore the Acharyas believe that apna Jain Sangh ma kain pan problem thai, then they are supposed to help the Jain Sangh. And that's why the Uvassagaram Stotra was composed at this time here. Now, there's one more legend which says that there were some sadhvis at the time of Lord Parshvanath. They could not follow this rigorous sadhana karmani hoy, they could not follow it. So what they did was that they almost decided to say, okay, we cannot do apne vihar nat kari sakta. So they decided to stay in one place and saying, we will not follow all the rigorous practices of a Jain monk or a nun, but we will just follow them partially. And because of the meritorious karmas, they're actually being born as Devis. And it is believed that these Devis, because they've got very long lifespan, these Devis actually do visit the earth. They visit lots of temples. Apna Shravak ke Shravika koi jai, so they tend to help many of the Shravak and Shravikas. So that's another reason why a lot of miracles are associated with, say, Uvassagaram Stotra. Many people say, I recite this stotra, cancer jaturiu chek, a lot of the illnesses have gone away. So it is then believed that a lot of the Devs and Devis do help us. So now let's look at Uvassagaram Stotra. Uvassagaram pasam vandami kammagana muktam vissara visaninnasam mangala kallana avasam. What's the first word? Uvassagaram. And what does Uvassagaram, the word, come from? Upsarg. આપણે શાંતિ પણ બોલે છે, એમાં પણ આવે છે ઉપસર્ગાશ્યમ યાંતિ છિદ્યંતે વિઘ્નવલય મનઃ પ્રસન્તામેતિ પૂજ્યમાને જીનેશ્વરે સર્વ મંગલ માંગલ્યમ સર્વ કલ્યાણમ કારણમ Pradhanam Sarvodharmanam Jainam Jaiti Sasanam. So upsarg means obstacles, and Uvassagaram, and haram means remover. So who can remove the obstacles? So then it says pasam, and quite curious. But first, I want to ask the audience who was listening, what kind of upsarg can people face? Can you sort of describe what kind of upsarg people can face? Upsarg from what? What kind of calamities? So there are four main things which we can get an upsarg from. Okay, in the interest of time, because I think I've got a lot to cover, I will go slightly faster. So the first upsarg, it's from Dev and Devis. The second upsarg comes from humans. The third upsarg can come from animals. And the fourth upsarg can come from natural disasters, calamities. So these are the four kinds of upsarg people can face, obstacles, problems people can face. And therefore, pasam comes twice. Why is it that? So the reason is, pasam has got a couple of meanings. The first pasam is something which is near to oneself. Another meaning of pasam is the attendant god, or Parsva Yaksh. And Pas is also the proper name of Parshvanath Bhagwan. So what are the different meanings of this first word? Uvassagaram pasam vandami. There are three different interpretations. I bow down to Parshvanath, Pasam, whose attendant god is also called Pasam, who is capable of removing obstacles. Another meaning could be, I bow down to the one who is obstacle remover Pasam, the demigod, who adores Tirthankar Parshvanath near to themselves. Pasam meaning near, najik. And finally, another meaning is, I bow down to Parshvanath, Pasam, who removes obstacles and sees Pasyam everything. But one of the most common translation of that verse is either one of these two. That we are bowing down to the Parsva Yaksha, who adores Parshvanath Bhagwan, and the Parsva Yaksha is the one who is able to remove the obstacles. It's very important that this prayer does not contravene the Jain philosophy. Apna Tirthankars che, they are vitragi. So no matter what prayers we do, Tirthankars cannot remove any of our problems. Please mana help karo, hey Bhagwan. So we can pray to the Tirthankars to remove our karmas, and it's always the Devs and Devis who can help us, but not our Tirthankars. So the next line, Kamma Gana Muktam. Kamma, what does Kamma mean? Karma. And so what it's actually saying, Uvassagaram pasam vandami, હું વંદન કરું છું, પણ કોને વંદન કરું છું? પાર્શ્વનાથ ભગવાનને. And now the other words which come after it, Kammagana Muktam, Vissara Visinninasam, these are describing the qualities of Tirthankar Parshvanath. હું કોને વંદન કરું છું? જે તીર્થંકર who can, એના જે કર્મ જે છે, so karma, ghana. What does ghana mean? Ghana has got three interpretations. Ghana means clouds. Can you imagine that then apna clear sky che, but imagine with this thunderstorm, very dark clouds, intense clouds. So it's clouds, stormy clouds, intense and thick, and a blacksmith's anvil. A steel, if you've got a piece of thread, then that can easily change shape. But can you imagine if you've got a steel that cannot change? You need a blacksmith's anvil to really change the shape of a steel. So karma keva che? Karma ekla intense karma apne bandhela છે કે એમાંથી મુક્કમ, they managed to eradicate themselves from this thick karmas. So that's the quality of the Parshvanath Bhagwan. Karma, and what kind of karma? Very thick, intense. Because apna Jain, the karma philosophy says there are two kinds of karma, ghati and aghati. The ghati karmas are those sticky karmas, the ones that are very difficult to get rid of. And it's saying that yes, I'm bowing down to someone, because whenever we pay respect to someone, they should have some superior qualities. And so Tirthankar Bhagwan has got these superior qualities. Akla karma emati mukta thei gaya che. And the next one. So what it means is capable of freeing everyone from the clouds of karma, or capable of freeing everyone from intense karmas. So the next one is Vissahara Visaninasam Mangala Kallana Avasam. So again, some more adjectives to qualify Lord Parshvanath. Vissahara Visaninasam. So what does Vissahara mean? Vissahara means very poisonous, like a cobra snake. And so it's like a very venomous cobra snake. And vis means poison. And ninasanam. And what does that mean? To destroy. Many times you must have heard me saying that I really strongly believe that we and our future generations should learn apni language, Gujarati, Hindi. Because as you can see, even if you look at the word ninasam, nash, આપણે જો ગુજરાતી આવડતું હોય તો we can actually decode and understand this. We can get really the essence of our prayers. So what this is saying is કે who is તીર્થંકર ભગવાન કે આકલા જે venomous cobra snake હોય આકલું intense poison પણ હોય ઈ પણ destroy કરી શકે. Now that's in the literal sense, but what could be another meaning of that? આપણા બધા જે કશાય છે ક્રોધ માન માયા, those are like poison, and such venomous poison કે આપણને ભવો આપણને એક લાઈફ માંથી બીજી લાઈફ માંથી we are in this sansar, so it also destroys this. So there's a kind of a double meaning to this. And the second adjective is mangala kallana avasam. So we'll look at in detail. Mangal is auspicious and kallan is prosperity, and avasam means abode. You are the abode of this. Like sometimes we say, okay, look at this country. This country has got everything. It's got natural resources. It's got all this great weather. So it's an abode of all things which is auspicious and prosperous. Now let's look at Parasam Namramuni Jeche, how he's translated this. And he says, this blessed stotra has the ability to destroy the most poisonous venom. And thus I've got full faith that it will protect my soul from all the krodh, man, maya, and lobh, the venoms which have made my soul impure since time immemorial. It is rightly said, you become like the one you truly look up to, in whose Sharan you surrender your heart. O Paramatma, I've come to your Sharan, make me worthy of residing in your Sharan. You are a manifestation of purity and positivity, and your remembrance in self is auspicious, a blessing to every seeker. Now let's look at in detail, what does Kallan and Mangal mean? Kallan means Swa Asti. Asti means soul, and Saruthai. Acha hoga mara. So the connotation is always positive. And Mangalam means ke paapne nash karo. So let's look at it. Like for example, there are two ways of describing. He is a good boy. So that's very positive. Oh, he's not a bad boy. So can you see that there's a double negation? Bad boy is a negative connotation, and he's not a bad boy. So we are saying the same thing, that if he's not a bad boy, he's a good boy. But Ekma, the connotation is negative, and in other one, the connotation is positive. So Kallanam has got a positive connotation. Baddu Bhagwan positive thase, whatever helps me for positive. For example, I'm going to be very generous. Giving is very good. I shall promote peace, purity. So this is all very positive. Whereas if you look at some of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. So it's a negative connotation, and by putting not, you're trying to say you should not do these negative things. So this is a kind of a subtle difference between Kallanam and Mangalam. Mangalams, and they're all saying the same thing. Okay, oh Bhagwan, you are the abode of this. Tamaru je naam smaran karse, ene badu prosperous thase, ke je badu negativities che, I badu dur thai jase. So negativities dur I Mangalam, and je positive badu marse, that's Kallanam. Now let's look at, I did mention to you that the snakes can be poisonous or non-poisonous. And I'll give you an example of my recent trip to India. On 6th of March, I visited Shahpur, a tirtha which is about 70 to 80 kilometers away from Bombay. It's quite common that there are nag bapa ave che. So I did describe to you earlier that among snakes, among snakes are very poisonous. Apne poisonous snake ave, we get really, really scared. But in this particular temple here, ame tya darshan karta tha, so Sadhviji came along and saying, Joe, look on the top, just where the lights are. Can you see a snake? So we said, yes, we can see a snake here. Snake dekhado mendo. And he says the snake appears quite frequently. And snake su kare, aaj Bhagwan ni murti che aya che dev ni murti che ene tya darshan kare che. And the snake was there, and for about 10 minutes, it was just not coming out, and it was just static. So at that time, I started reciting some mantra. Apna je Saraswati Matu mantra che, and within about 30 seconds, the snake started coming out. And I'll just share a video of that to you. Oops, sorry. Okay, I think. Saraswati Matapapa Hana Hana Daha Daha Sham Shim Shum Shum Shah Shira Davla Umrita Sambhare Bum 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 Swaha Om Arahan Muktamalawasini Papatma Shayankari Shutagnana Jwala Sasra Julite Saraswati Matapapa Hana. So as you can see, Sasra Julite Saraswati Matapapa. So as you can see, so as reciting the mantra, the snake came up almost like an arm's length. And as you can see here, Our snakes, these are not venomous snake, and in fact, some people actually sort of consider them to be quite lucky and auspicious. And just taking the Russian of Parshanath Bhagwan. So snakes again could be of venomous or they're not very poisonous snakes. So the next line apna Uvassagaram Stotra ma ave che Vissara Fulling Gamantam Kanthe Dhari Jose Amano Tassaga Rogamari Gutta Jara Janti Vasamam. What does this say? Ek jato mantra che Vissara Fulling Gamantam. So there's a mantra in the name of Vissara Fulling. Ne ije ne Vissara Fulling mantra che. And that mantra is actually an 18-letter mantra. And what is this mantra? Om Rim Shrim Araham Namyuna Pasa Vissahara Vasa Jina Fulinga Rim Shrim Namaha. So this one's in beginning, these are known as seed mantras. So those are not part of the actual mantra. The actual mantra starts from here. Namyuna, and as you can see that it is an 18-letter mantra. So isu ke che ki aje mantra je che Vissara Fuling Gamantam Kanthe Dhari Josaya Manuo. Kanthe Dhari Josaya Manuo. So let's look at Kanthe. What does Kanthe mean? How many of you have actually come across Kanthil? India might dava ave che. And that dava, sometimes I use it. If you have got a sore throat, you would be using this this medicine. So Kanthil, Kanthe means neck or upper part of the throat. Kanthe. Dharai. Dharan means to hold. Jo means whoever. Saya means always. And Manuo, Manushya or humans. So those people. So there are two interpretations for this. Vissahara Fulling Gamantam Kanthe Dhajo Saya Manuo. In the olden days, it is said that people used to actually have a mala, and that mala would have this mantra on it, and that Mansu Irake, and they would not have any problems. I mean, it's very common right now. We have got our Raksha Potli, which we have right now. So in the olden days, people used to wear this mala, and as you know, even the Christians, they wear the cross. So now Kanthe Dhari jo kare che, there's also a very interesting story. Lord Shiva je che, ine par Nilkant ke che. And why is it that? Because Lord Shiva is supposed to have drunk the poison. Ni jo poison che, that's why it's called Nilkant. And even if you look at the this modern science, it says if you take a poison, and which poison if you take gold and silver, and if you overdose yourself, you can then actually get your body can become blue or bluish in color. So again, so Kanthe means neck. And so the two interpretations are those people who actually hold this mantra, who recite this mantra, who wear this mala, or the other interpretation is those people who know this mantra by heart. You know the mantra, you do not need anything else. So these are the two interpretations. So mantra tamari paase hoy, so then what's going to happen? Then now we're saying, okay, what are the benefits of this mantra? Tassa gaha rogamari gutta jara janti vasamam. Tassa means theirs, graha means planetary effects, rog means maharog and mahamari, and this will go away. We believe that apnama there's a 9 planetary systems. The grahas che apne gana manso ne ke amna problems cha aje shani mane nade che. So by reciting this Uvassagaram Stotra, the effects of the planetary effects will go away. Now, when we say diseases, we are not talking about common cold. Oh, okay, I went for a walk, ne mane thorn prick thei gyo che. We are now talking of serious illnesses. Maharog thei gya and mahamari, and it's quite appropriate because we are now living in a time period where after COVID-19 che, we are in that time, we're having something similar. We're having a huge lot of diseases and mahamari thai che. So abada je Uvassagaram Stotra bolo thi I dur jata re che. Dutta jara janti vasamam. Now dutta means, again, it's many of these words have got double meanings. Dutta means dushta atma. So dushta means enemy, terrorists, or deadly. And jara has also got two meanings. Jara means old age, or it also means deadly fever. So can you imagine? It's very, very similar to what we are facing in COVID right now. Deadly fever. People are getting fever, but it's a very deadly fever. And so I bada jeche janti uvasamam. Ibada shant ho jata hai. So they're all becoming pacified. So that's the benefit of reciting this mantra. So the person who holds the Vissahara Fulling mantra forever in their neck or throat, their bad omens or effects of planets, diseases, plagues, fevers will subside. Chitto dure manto, pujapana moi boflo hoy, naratiri suvijiva, pavantina duka dogacham. Asuke chave. Chitto dure manto, keep the mantra away. We know that the mantra has got huge benefits, amazing amount of benefits, but leave it aside. I don't want to use the mantra. Pujapana moi boflo hoy. તમને ખાલી પ્રણામ કરવાથી જ બહુ ફલો હોય. Falo means fruits. Hey Bhagwan, I do not need the use of the mantras. Just by me being pranam to you, bowing down to you, I'll be getting immense fruits. And what fruits will I get? Nara tiriyesu vijiva, pavantina dukha dogacham. All animals, humans and animals will not suffer any misery. Now it's very, people who recite Uvassagaram Stotra, there are 2 words. Dohaggam and dogacham. Some people say pavantina dukha dogacham, or some other people say pavantina dukha dohaggam. So there is a subtle difference in the meanings of these 2 words. Dohaggam means durbhagya, poverty, and dogacham means durgati. So people who recite these mantras, you will not get a durgati, a bad gati, which means you will not be born into animals or hellish beings. And durbhagya means similar connotations, because if you are born as an animal or into a hell, that's your bhagya bo kharab che. So essentially what it means is just by Bhagwan no naam levati tamne nara tiriyesu vijiva. Very interesting. Nara means animals and tiriyancha. Even tiriyanchas will not be able to get this Bhagwan na pranam karwati. Can you imagine? He's such a beautiful player. Emnat kehta ke apne first line mein kidu to koi mantra bole to you will get these benefits. We know animals cannot recite the mantras, but animals can bow down. As we saw, that snake is bowing down to the Bhagwan ni murti ne kare che. So our animals che who can bow down, then they also will not go into durgati. Now, I think we looked at this slide here, so we'll just skip this. Now, at this stage here, I just wanted to share that, we said that the animals do not go into durgati. I would like to actually share some experiences of personal experiences where animals themselves have had some tremendous spiritual prowess. And I'll share about 2 or 3 examples with you. The first example was in, a few years ago, we went to Kerala, in Kochinu Dera Sarche. And when we found Mansukh-bhai, who was the caretaker there, said, it's around lunchtime. So if you just wait for a little while, so what he does is, he thadi vagade. Pigeons ne kabutar hoy, then what happens is, he turn thadi vagade, chalo, 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 he says that. And then what happens is that the pigeons, there are certain turn pradakshina fare. So they'll go around the temple 3 times. There are some turn pradakshina fare. So they go around the temple 3 times, and only then most of them will start eating the rice. So I might, you can see that. So as you can see, he's saying chalo, 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 and if I just fast because of the interest of time. Okay, so because I think the time is quite short, I'll stop the video right now. But what happens is, pachi manglik bole che, ne manglik boli ne pachi they start the eating. The second experience I had was just recently on 27th of February. I went to Girnar, and I was as we are climbing the Girnar mountain, the Doliwala told me, Roj, there are 2 dogs who are climbing the Girnar every day. Roj jatra kare che, and these are the 2 dogs here. And it's quite difficult to believe that I also went to Girnar in about 2016, and at that time we saw the same dog. So, and even just a few months ago, we experiencing the same dog. Can you imagine? Big dogs che, and Roj Girnar ni jatra upar niche loka jatra kare che. And the third kind of example I had was many years ago when I was a child. I went to Rajkot. There was a temple of Muniswara Swami Bhagwan, and there when we went to the temple, there was a tortoise. Roj chovyar kare, and we got there about 5:30. We gave him some leaves of the cabbage. Apne Nokar mantra bole, so he takes his 2 paws, brings them together, and after he finished reciting the Nokar mantra, it then starts eating the cabbage leaves. So all I really want to demonstrate that, can you imagine that animals having such kind of spirituality within them? It's very kind of difficult to imagine, but these are kind of 3 real examples which I experienced myself. Tuva samatte ladde, Chintamani kapapai vabbaye, pavantya vigyanam, jiva ayaramaram thanam. So what it's saying here is, hey Bhagwan, by earning right faith, by having faith in you, putting faith and having faith in you, it's like Chintamani kapapai vabbaye. So the benefits I'll get is even more than Chintamani and Kampapaya. Now, Jain sort of tradition or philosophy believes there are two special things. Chintamani. Chinta means apne magachi chinta kare, mind. Money means, so whatever you wish for, you get. And similarly for Kalpa Vraksh. Kalpa apne kach ganan naam hai kalpna, imagination, and Vraksh means trees. So it is believed that if you believe anything, I want a house, I want this, whatever you want, just by pure imagination, you're able to get it. So Uvassagaram Stotra su keche, imagine you had this tree here, or you had this special jewel or gemstone, and if you had that in your possession, no matter what you wish for, you get. Ena kartati pan vadhare. Hey Prabhu, I want to have the faith in you. So by having the faith in you, it's even more than Chintamani kapvai vabbai, not even vadhare, vabbai. So I'll get even more benefits in them. And what more benefits will I get from them? Avanti avigyanam. Very, very interesting. Avigyanam. Vigna eklesu, problems thaye. Vigna avigyu. Avigyanam means without problems, very easily. And so without, what will you achieve very easily? Jiva airamaram thanam. So what will someone achieve? They will achieve a place, a soul will achieve airamaram, a place whereby there is no janma maran. Thanam, jagya. And essentially what is that? Sidshila. Okay, that is the place whereby people will achieve the ultimate bliss, the moksha. So having obtained faith in you is like receiving Chintamani jewel or Kalpa tree, which grants all wishes. And what wishes are we asking for? I want that wish that all beings attain the immortal place without any obstacles whatsoever. So I want to achieve this Sidshila without having any obstacles. Again, the translation given by Parasdam, the mere recitation of the stotra with unconditional faith has the ability to make my soul worthy of achieving moksha. Iya santo mahayasa patti bhara nibbharena hiena ta devadijavoim bhave bhave pasajena chanda. So in this way, hey Prabhu, I have eulogized you. And with however I eulogized you, bhakti, with a heart full of devotion. Therefore, ho dev, ta deva dijja bohim. Bhave bhave, please bestow. Dijja means bestow. Bohim means bodhi apo. Let me get the seed of attaining the perfect knowledge. And bhave bhave pasajina chanda. Can you imagine when we started the Uvassagaram Stotra, there were two pasam, and they were referring to the two Parsvanath Bhagwan and Parsva Yaksh. Now we have got bhave bhave, and what it's saying, hey Bhagwan, my final prayer is that please let me have the seed of right faith, and let me have samyaktva keche, and that samyaktva carries on with me from one life to the other life. Mar ek ko ek bhav, maro life puru thai, pachi next life, and a following life, life after life. Oh Bhagwan, I really would like to have this seed of right faith in you. Let's dive a little bit further into Uvassagaram Stotra. Now there is consonant doubling, and I think this is very, very important. A lot of people recite Uvassagaram Stotra, Uvassagaram. Can you see the red line underneath? Pasam, pasam, vandami, kamma. Can you see ka? And there's double ma, kamma. And then again, muktam. So it's Uvassagaram pasam, pasam vandami, kamma gana mukkam, kamma gana muktam, vissara vissa ninnasam, mangala kallana avasam. There's double la and la. There's double emphasis, and it's believed that with consonant doubling, shaktis or chakras are get cleansed. We believe that we've got, and chakras are like endocrine glands. The aura becomes pure and bigger. So essentially, it's like a router. Router hoy, but then to boost our Wi-Fi range, we'll actually have some kind of a booster there. So Uvassagaram Stotra also benefits of message, but if you recite it with the proper pronunciation, then the effect will be, our auras will be much better and bigger. Now, R is actually coming 13 times in Uvassagaram Stotra, Uvassagaram. So if you count the number of Ra, and Ra is supposed to be the seed element of fire, and it energizes us, our immunity becomes stronger. Sa comes 16 times. Uvassagaram pasam sa. Pasam sa. So if you count the number of sa, it's about 16 times. It destroys the karma and the bij mantra. Alpha waves are created. If you look at alpha waves, they actually make us feel calm and relaxed, as you can see. So these waves are around 8 to 12 hertz. But just by reciting sa, we believe that positive alpha waves are created. The upper dot creates internal nectar. No depression, chinta goes away. So upper dot kya ave che? Vissara fulinga upper dot ave che. Gamantam ma upper dot ave che. Kanthe, so ka upper dot ave che. Kanthe. So these dots, by reciting it properly, then it creates no depression, chinta goes away. Anuswar. So what does the anuswar mean? Ending upper dot. Word ma only ending letter ma upper dot, not in the middle. So like kantema, the dot comes in the middle. So that's called anuswar. But when it comes on the ending part, that's called the anuswar is called on the ending part. And ending part the biological power gets activated. So Uvassagaram pasam, so super dot avi gyo che. And so that means that our biological power gets really activated, digestive, repairing, thinking, that all it gets enhanced. So it's very, very important to get the pronunciation correct. And if you recite it with lots of bhav, then that would be great. Now, just to conclude, I've just concluded in about 4-5 minutes. Some believe that Uvassagaram Stotra had 7 verses or even 27 verses. And in fact, there are actually some maras which have got 27 beads. A lot of people recite Uvassagaram Stotra in these 27 maras, but it's now only got 5 verses. And one of the reasons is people believe that there are 7 verses hati. At that time, the Devis used to come to the earth to help people. And then people used to misuse this mantra. For example, a lady je che, and the baby is sleeping in the cot, and then the baby is crying, and so the lady is getting a bit upset. So Uvassagaram Stotra bolave, oh Devi, a chokra please dhyan rakho to, mane thodo rasoi karvi che ke I just want to have some relaxed time. So people were abusing this mantra. So at that time, Acharya Bhadrabha was told, and then he removed some of the verses from the Uvassagaram Stotra. So right now we've got 5 verses of Uvassagaram Stotra. Uvassagaram Stotra has also got the 4 names of Bhagwan Parshvanath. Mangal, Mangala Kalyan Avasam. Mangal Parshvanath Bhagwan che, Kalyan Parshvanath Bhagwan che, Kalpa Vraksh Parshvanath che, Chintamani Parshvanath Bhagwan naam hoy che. One thing also is interesting to see that if you look at the different verses, the first time when we are begging, hey Bhagwan, this prayer is asking, Vissara Fuling Gamatam Kante Dari Jose Mano, Tassaga Roga Mari. Katame jo mantra bol, so what's going to happen? Your planetary effects, your rog mari will all go away. So we are asking for Jagat, for what are like our common problems. Oh, I'm having disease problems, I'm having these planetary effects. The middle category is what? Now we are asking from, forget the mantra. Just by reciting just by doing pranam to you, what will I achieve? I will not achieve durgati, na dukha dogacham. I don't want to get born into an animal kingdom or into in the hellish being. So that's slightly middle category. And the final request is what? Tu samatte ladde chintamani kapavai vabhaye pavantya vigyanam jiva airamaram thanam. I really, what I'm asking for, I want this place, thanam, which is the Sitchila. So can you see that how even the request, what we are asking for is changing? This is the Jagat level, the middle, the lowest category of asking. Then it's a middle category, asking for something slightly better. And the ultimate, Uttam superior category is, I really want to get the Sitchila. So I think the references, I had quite a few, Navsmaran, the stories I managed to get from the Divakar Chitrakatha. Leena Ben is asking, how did Parshvanath Bhagwan attain Samyaktva? So as you can see that Bhagwan Mahavir's had got the 9 lives, and when they started. So, and when exactly he got his Samyaktva is difficult to know, but essentially, but the answer could be that he got his Samyaktva in his first birth, because apne hum koi ke kya Bhagwan Mahavir na 27 births hata, ke Bhagwan Parshvanath 9 births hata. We believe that the soul is infinite. So we cannot say, oh, this was my first birth. So then how do we start saying ke Bhagwan Parshvanath na 27 births hata, ke Bhagwan Parshvanath 9 births hata? It's a time since the time since when they got the Samyaktva. So that's when you start counting. Okay, have Bhagwan has Samyaktva to, then he had this first birth, second birth, third birth, and then 9 birth. Similarly with Bhagwan Mahavir Swami Bhagwan, 27 births apne ke che, So the moment he goes to Samyaktva, that's the time the counting starts. Because otherwise, Bhagavan Mahavir's soul, Parshvanath's soul, and Apara's soul, we all have been there since infinite times. So we cannot say, okay, this many lives. Just 1 second, let me just get back to my presentation and just finish the last slides. Yeah, so this was the different references. I did mention apna Jain ma apne kechi apna Bhagwan Parshvanath na ketla temples thya che. Now, when I recently went for my jatra in February, March, I'll just give us a bhav jatra of which are some of the temples I visited. Vijapur. This is again Parshvanath Bhagwan. There are such a Jiravala Parshvanath. It's got a very small murti of Parshvanath Bhagwan, but supposed to be very miraculous. Sultan Parshvanath. It's got an amazing history. How the Muslim rule ne Parshvanath Bhagwan there are such a Falna Parshvanath. This is in Rajasthan and supposed to be one of the one of the only golden temples. It's believed that the ladies of this town donated golds in bundles, kilo na son, they just donated, and from the money donated by the people of this town, they created this Falna Parshvanath, Panchasara Parshvanath, Dolia Tirthmapan Parshvanath Bhagwan che. Sankeshwar, as you all know, it's one of the most famous Parshvanath Bhagwan Murti chaya. Prabhas Patanmapan che Dokanya Parshvanath, Ajhara Parshvanath. Again, it's got a tremendous history. Ajahara, as it means, Mansoni diseases hoy, the disease goes away. And what's unique about this temple here, it's got the murti of Parshvanath Bhagwan in a striking red color, bright red color. Bhagwan Parshvanath murti che, very, very unique murti. Naukar Dham Parshvanath, Bombay mache Godiji Parshvanath, one of the oldest temples in Bombay, and it's believed that this murti actually came from Pakistan. Godiji Parshvanath che, it actually the murti came from them. Shahpur is, I did mention, and Jagbala Parshvanath is in Kolhapur. Again, it's got a Parshvanath Bhagwan murti che. So thank you very much. And I hope you found that useful. I think another question from Bindi Ben. Did Parshvanath Bhagwan bind Tirthankar Namkambar in his 9th life? No, 9th life was his last life. He bound it in, was it the 8th life? When he was Suvarna Prabhuvata, there he bound, when he became a Chakravati, and in a Vistanakni and austerities keri. So that's the time he bound his Tirthankar Nam Karma. Any other questions? Asha Ben is asking, is this stotra practiced by Deravasi Stanakvasi? Yes, this is just like Bhaktamar Stotra. The stotra is actually unanimous. It's either sect.
Universal.
We believe it or we don't believe it.
It's a universal stotra.
That's right, yes. Punyaban is asking, should be recited in a particular manner? Well, I think if you recite it in a very, if you learn it and if you such a uchartita me bhano, then that's got a lot of benefits. As I explained to you, I listened to one of the Sadhvijis, monks and nuns, and reciting in a very proper manner will reap you a lot of benefits. Okay, as we saw, Uvassagaram, pasam andami, and the more you study and the better you pronounce it, the better it is. Okay. Yeah, I think thank you very much for the comments on the chat. Thank you for listening. And if there's anyone else who's got any other questions, otherwise we can, Shailin, ask for the Manglik.
Yep. No. So before the Manglik, would like to say thank you very much, Rajeev, for sharing such a rounded session. There's so much you brought in, both the universe, Shama, forgiveness, yeah, a variety of stories, linking it to for us to help us remember the 4 Ps of marketing. So yeah, a whole variety of things there to help us understand and remember this, and also understand the pronunciation and the importance of this. So thank you very much, Rajeev, for sharing passionately as you do. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank Aryan Sangvi for starting the prayers. Yash, who's in the background, been helping Rajeev with the technology side, and I think uploading the videos onto YouTube. So he's our hidden hero in the background. Pramit, Nilesh, and Gatanbhai, again in the background, helping with the tech side of things and helping to organize these sessions. And take the opportunity to also thank Parul, who will be doing the Manglik in a moment. But before we do the Manglik, I'd just like to mention what we're going to be covering next week and who will be sharing that. And after that, we will have the Manglik. And after the Manglik, we will have our poll. So please do fill out the poll after the Manglik. It helps us understand and make improvements to these sessions.
Shailin, just one question, just briefly. Some people are asking about the proper pronunciation of Uvassagaram Stotra. So if you just ask them that maybe they can email SCVP, because Sangamitra Ji Maharaj has recited Uvassagaram Stotra in a very beautiful, melodious manner with the proper ucharan and with the pronunciation. So perhaps we can send people the link of where they can listen to Uvassagaram Stotra of Sangamitra Ji Maharaj, and perhaps even there's one for Sadhvi Shila PG. So if you do find something, then people can send an email to SCVP and we can send them the link.
Perfect. And if it's technically possible, we'll try and put it onto the YouTube site as well. Thank you for that. So next week, today I talked about the 3 pillars, Siksha, Sadhana, and Seva. And I described a little bit about Seva, volunteering and service. Next week, Hinaben will be taking us through chapter 7 of Walk With Me, and she will be covering that pillar of sadhana. So if you're wondering what sadhana is, you'll find out next week, and you'll also find out, is there any link to the word sadhana and to the words sadhu and sadhviji? So come next week to find out about that. Same time, same place. Do register and bring your friends and family. And as I mentioned, I'd like to invite Parul, one of our enthusiastic and positive volunteers, to share the Manglik. And after the Manglik, we will have the poll. So please do fill that out. Parul, are you ready to share the Manglik?
Yes, I am, Shailin. Thank you, Rajeevbhai, for the introduction. And thank you, Shailin-bhai, and thank you everyone else for giving me this opportunity. Chattari Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Panato Dhammo Mangalam, Chattari Lokottama, Arihante Lokuttama, Siddhe Lokuttama, Sahu Lokuttama, Kevali Panacha Dhammo Lokuttama, Chattari Sharam Pavachami, Arihante Sharam Pavachami, Siddhe Sharam Pavachami, Sahu Sharam Pavachami, Kevali Panatam Dhammo Sharam Pavachami.
Thank you very much, Parul, for that wonderful recitation. And just take this opportunity to also, as you fill out the poll, to remind you that on the SCVP bulletin, as well as the WhatsApp group for learning where we share about these sessions, there are opportunities for other classes and learning which SCVP is hosting. So the information is on the SCVP email bulletin, as well as the WhatsApp group. And if you're not part of those, please, again, send an email to the SCVP address, and you can be added to those.
Uvassagaram Pasam Vandamikam Aghanamukam Visahar Visaninnasam Mangala Kalyana Avasam Visahar Fulingamantam Kanthe Dhare Jo Sayamanu गहरोगमारी दुट्ठ जराजन्ति उवसाम चिट्ठौ दूरे मंतो तुझ्झपणामो विबहुफलो होई नरतिरिये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायव भये पावन्ति अविघ्नेणं जीवाय रामरं ठाणम् यसन्थुओ महायस भक्ति भरने भरेण हियेण तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द उवसगहरं पासं वन्दामि कम्मघणमुकं विसहर विसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याण आवासम् विसहर फुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोसयामणुओ तस्य गहरोगमारी दुट्ठ जराजन्ति उवसाम चिट्ठौ दूरे मंतो तुझ्झपणामो विबहुफलो होई नरतिरिये सुविजीवा पावन्ति न दुःखदोहगम् तुह समते लद्धे चिन्तामणिकप्पपायव भये पावन्ति अविघ्नेणं जीवाय रामरं ठाणम् यसन्थुओ महायस भक्ति भरने भरेण हियेण तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द उवसगहरं पासं वन्दामि कम्मघणमुकं विसहर विसनिन्नासं मङ्गलकल्याण आवासम् विसहर फुलिङ्गमन्तं कण्ठे धारे जोसयामणुओ तस्य गहरोगमारी दुट्ठ जराजन्ति उवसाम चिट्ठौ दूरे मंतो सन्थु ओ महायस भक्ति भरने भरेण हियेण तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पासजिन चन्द तादेव दिज्जबोहिं भवे भवे पा